Hey, what's up? It's Rashad. Antonio, we are the MCU Collective. Thunderbolts, asterisk, all spoilers. Gotta talk about a thing to talk about a thing. Real quick, if you have not, you definitely need to go through and check us out at the website, theuponfurtherreview.com. That is where, but for the low, low price of $10 a month, you will gain access to even more of us. Quick thank you for anybody who got us over 2K on YouTube. Let's keep it there.
Yes,
Don't unsubscribe like some haters. Just keep the subscription. You know what I'm saying? I was real close at one point. If you was like, nah, I don't like y'all no more. Like, what is that about? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, theuponfurtherreview.com. Check us out over there. We're gonna have so much more to talk about over there. More free-flowing conversation, like-minded people in the community where we garner the best of us and the best of us, as in me and Tony. And you're gonna have mad people coming through with really amazing takes. All right,
Yes.
Thunderbolts. I'm gonna be very honest. So it's all spoilers, guys. So if you haven't seen it, I'm gonna spoil the entire hell out of this movie. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Number one, this is one of those things where, okay, how can I say this? This is the most MCU movie from the MCU that I've seen in a while. Because
Yes.
the end credit directly lines us up for the next movie. We haven't
Yes.
seen that in a minute. Okay?
Yes.
And then two, if you allow yourself to speculate, the end credit can overshadow the movie.
Yeah.
Because let's just talk about it right now.
Yeah.
So Thunderbolts.
Oh yeah, let's go and get this thing credit out of the way.
Thunderbolts, okay. Thunderbolts are the new Avengers. That's the asterisk, okay? And by the time we get to the end credit,
By
the time we get to that, they're chilling, and all of our main characters in the movie, minus Taskmaster, R.I.P. Taskmaster, you're gone and forgotten. The blam! You know what I'm saying? That was the purpose. Oh, we'll get to that, Tony.
No purpose.
Hey man, sometimes you got to get rid of a mistake. You know what I'm saying? Mistakes were made. Oh man, the character could have been cool. Anyway, so we get to the end credit, right? And they're in the new Avengers. Little get up, you know what I'm saying? I'm guessing
Watchtower.
Guess it's in the Watchtower. Sounds very what's my FIFA name? They be knocking on your door, asking you, do you believe in Jesus?
Jehovah's Witness.
Yes.
I'm thinking, you know, so I'm thinking Jimi Hendrix. Lord, the Watchtower. You know?
Nah, I'm thinking about
love Jimi Hendrix.
Hey man, what do you think about Jesus? Like who are you? Anyway. Nah, so they're in the Watchtower and they're having this little goofy conversation. We see it all together. Two things. One, Sam Wilson's pissed. We got angry black man alert. He's like, "Who was y'all? And how are y'all the Avengers?"
No, say it, Rashad. You know who he was like? Who are these niggas? That's what who are these niggas? That's what he's straight Tommy Davidson.
Yes.
Who are these niggas? And I want to make sure I stay away. Who are these niggas? That's what they
are. We gotta make sure we stay away from them. For real. So that was question number one. Sam is pissed, right? And he even got, yo, let me go and get his all rights reserved for this Avengers because like y'all not gonna take my money. Again, capitalism wins. Secondly, the Fantastic Four are entering into Earth's atmosphere. Wow. Okay, like so many questions abound from that one moment. So so does this happen at the beginning of the Fantastic Four? Is this after they don't have a world? Is this like, okay, bigger question. Is this a different Fantastic Four? Because this is a multiverse. Like, it's so many questions from that, like, again, if you want to just talk about the end credit, it can overshadow the movie. And that is classic MCU. At its, like, this is what I mean. Like, this is the most MCU movie that I've seen in a long time. Like, I really mean that. All right. So let's get back to the actual movie.
Oh, we gonna get?
No, I'm sorry. You got something you want to say?
I just,
go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because this part of this.
No. Are you sure?
No, this part of the actual.
I don't want to
movie.
interrupt you in your flow. You know what I'm saying?
No, because I mean, are we just talking about the end credit scene or what?
Hey, go ahead at it, man.
Okay, yeah. So, like, so we are saying this is going into the Fantastic Four, and this makes you wonder. Like I said, like you said, Rashad, who, what, when, where, how is this in the Fantastic Four movie? Because basically they're the Temu Avengers. They're the Temu Avengers. You know, I actually felt kind of bad for MAGA Captain America John Walker for a second. I said, this dude, I'm gonna tell you why. This dude can't catch a break. He's the what Valentina called? He's the dime store Captain America. And now he's a dime store Avenger. And it's like, Yelena's like, hey, man, it's some type of event going on. Nobody's telling us nothing. You know what I'm saying? They try to get information. And it's like, man, we ain't telling y'all nothing. The best part, too, was before the end credit scene where the articles coming out like, who? People are like, who? Not my Avengers. I mean, it was the funniest trash. You want to know the type of reception they got? You know I like to take things back to sports. They got the type of reception that some Laker fans gave when LeBron became a Laker. Like,
he ain't magic.
Am I lying, Rashad? They're like, you ain't Kobe. Like, you ain't Kobe, or type stuff like that. You know, granted, they did just save the world, but you ain't Cap. You ain't Tony.
Yeah.
You ain't Hulk. You ain't Thor. You know, that's the stuff they got. And this goes to show you how unprepared they are for this. Because you think about it, they don't have a scientist on this their version of the Avengers. They don't really have a scientist. And the alert they get is this. I'm gonna say this. The alert they get is, hey, we got a distress signal from an interdimensional spacecraft. And what does O.X.E say? What's interdimensional? What's interdimensional? Like, they have no idea what it's like. What's interdimensional?
It's slow as hell.
He's slow. Hey, he's my favorite character on the whole movie, man. But you know who he is? He's the Gronk. He's like Gronk, man, on this thing. You know, he's Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds, man. But he's just excited to be here.
Strictly there for vibes.
Different vibes, but
like even his mid credit, he went into the store to see somebody recognize him on the Wheaties box. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, he just like
that's all he wanted was like. And I'm gonna get to that when we get to talk about the movie. But yeah, yo, like
she said, okay, threw that box down. But yeah, but it shows you how unprepared and how no one is paying these folks no mind. Even though Valentina made this big proclamation in front of the whole world and everything. Oh, it's the new Avengers, and what's interdimensional? And then it just shows the giant Fantastic Four on the daggone thing. Go ahead, Rich.
For real. Like this movie, man. Like, all right, I was not prepared to have a discussion about what it means to move on. You know, because again, talking about like people having depression and dealing with grief. Like I really wasn't prepared for that. And who wrote this movie? I like it, that aspect of it to me surprised me the most. And I think that's how Marvel gets back to being the MCU that we all know and love.
Screenplay by Eric Pearson and Joanna Callow.
All right. So those two
Hmm.
individuals, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
they did a really great job of telling a story about one, also connecting because they could have easily been like, all right, new story. We ain't even focusing on none of this stuff. We're not gonna talk about what happened to Black
Hmm.
Widow. We're not gonna reference the Black Widow movie
Hmm.
at all. But
Hmm.
this is essentially a sequel to to that movie. And the fact that we start with Yelena on the top of a building, kind of pontificating about
Yeah.
her normal life and how she just
Hmm.
has reserved and resigned herself to being a useful tool
Yeah.
for either the government or, in this case, was it Oxcon or Oxen is the name
Yeah,
of the company?
Oxen.
Yeah, Oxen,
Uh-huh.
which is Valentina's little she's on. I'm not a part of that. I'm just on the board, like that
Hmm.
company who's doing all this research, essentially again taking the pieces of the past that we know, the super soldier serum, and trying to use
Hmm.
that for again the proliferation
Hmm.
of heroes. When I mean, I know like proliferation means to take away, but it's essentially what she's
Uh-huh.
trying to do. She's trying to take away
No.
and have only one that works for her. And
Hmm.
the Yelena, man, like I know you said that Red Guardian was your favorite. I don't miss Natasha Romanoff anymore.
You know what? Let me go ahead and get this out the way then, because I was going to ask this question, but you just answered the question that I was going to ask. And the question I was going to ask is who's a better Black Widow,
Man,
Natasha Romanoff
it's look,
or Elena? And
I
it's looking like
love
it's now pause. There is another Black Widow that is in the universe. Remember from Captain
yeah,
America: Brave and the Bold, so
yeah.
we gotta keep her. My bad. We gotta keep her in mind. But as of right now, Elena to me is more personable, because you see her actually dealing with grief the way that Natasha never really did.
Because the sad part is they never gave her the time to do it. And I think that's
That's
where
true.
The Bob Iger of the situation like comes into
Hmm.
full effect where we could have easily had her story during the first phases. And
Hmm.
her movie would have made way more sense then at the top of phase four. But Bob Iger,
Hmm.
noted racist and misogynist, was like, them
Hmm.
hopes don't sell toys. So why are we doing this? So I like it's just the characterization of Yelena Belova at each iteration has been so good. Back from when she was in
Hmm.
Hawkeye, and
Hmm.
even when
Hmm.
what else did she show up? When she showed up in
For
Black
first it was
Widow.
Black Widow, then it was Hawkeye, and then she showed up. Damn it, where did she show up? Did she show up in Winter Soldier and
Falcon Winter Soldier.
no Falcon Winter Soldier? Did she show up in that?
Yes. Didn't we see her go through the blip?
Yeah, we did. And I'm trying
Yeah.
to remember where exactly.
Yeah. Because she was on a mission and she got blipped and she came back. I think so. You can look it up. But either way, they have built this character up to the point where from Black Widow, the movie is like, look, get to the point where we see her as a fully formed character, right? When it comes to like Natasha's Black Widow, we always saw her as the formidable sidekick. She wasn't in that.
No, Hawkeye was the last thing she was in.
Oh, so they did that her from Hawkeye. Dang, man,
Uh-huh.
it's
That's right, they did. 'Cause remember, we saw at the end of Black Widow, that's when she met Valentina, and Valentina like basically tricked
so
her
yeah,
into
said I
thinking
yeah
that
yeah.
Clint Clint killed her on purpose, and then they showed her little arc and that when she kind of when she blipped away. So yeah,
True. So
when she
we see
Thanos
her.
dusted away.
Yeah, should we see her as like a fully formed character? And we
Hmm.
always saw Natasha as a very formidable sidekick. Like they're making
Hmm.
Yelena into a solo character. Because even right now, she's the de facto
Yeah,
leader of the new Avengers
yeah,
in a way that Natasha never really
yeah.
was. Because
Right.
because
She
she's
tried to be,
she
and
tried to be
she tried
yeah
to be
like their
in
end
Endgame,
game,
but yeah.
but like we didn't look at it like that. We looked at her as like how can I put this?
She
She
was
was
complimentary.
she was the Dennis Rodman. She was the glue. You know what I'm saying? She was doing all the rebounding and you know what I'm saying, taking the charges. She was the person that was like she
You
wasn't
know
getting
what
no
she was?
buckets.
She was a star, but not a superstar.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. But Yelena for me, man, like Florence Pugh is doing a really I like like people be like they love Florence Pugh, and I understand why now. Like I really
Yeah.
love what she's doing with with our Black Widow now, you know the
Uh-huh.
new Black Widow, and from the beginning of the movie, from the monologue she has, explaining her day, how sad she is, going through all that. By the end of the movie, being able to have a moment of catharsis with her surrogate
Hmm.
father. Where's her mom? Like where's
Yeah. What happened to
like
her?
like she not around, yo.
Yeah.
I need a recap with her because
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, but either way, it looks like she had more of a of a of an emotional connection with Red Guardian for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And
Lexi.
we yeah,
Yeah.
with Lexi and Alexi is trying his best to connect with his daughter, but he
Hmm.
admittedly says, "Hey man, I'm not good with this stuff. I just really essentially I want the best for you as a dad. I can't really eloquate
Hmm.
how to say that." And because of that, because of the heart, she's also the heart of the movie too. Even though like
Hmm.
Alexis there for vibes, but like Elena is really the heart. Because even when
Yeah.
it comes to East,
Hmm.
aside from grief and dealing with our feelings and emotions, this movie is really about the friends we made along the way in the least
Yeah.
corniest way
I,
possible.
And I also love too that Alexa, he with him with dealing with her, trying to you know what I'm saying, connect with her when she first goes to see him and he's like, oh, super excited and he cleans up and everything and they're talking and he
Brushing the
notices
teeth
that
with
she's sulking
dishwasher
and
liquid.
everything. But yeah, and that's wild as hell. And he notices that she's kind of like
She's
sulking and
down.
not herself.
Yeah.
He's down, he's like, yo, you kind of even down by Eastern European standards, yo, from
Weak.
you know, you
I
was
was
weird.
weak.
He was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
you down by Eastern European, you know what I'm saying, standards and stuff. And he's like really trying his best to do it. And at the climax of the movie, when he gives her his little speech about, hey, like, we all screw up type, saying situation and saying family is the most important. And she's like, what family? And then she explains it and breaks it down to her. And you see she kind of gets, she's not kind of, she does get emotional. It's like, okay, I see where you stand. And basically she sees how much he really do care for her, not just for, what I'm saying, not just to use her to get back into action and everything. Because the beginning of the movie, he was just trying to, he was like, do you know what I would give to work for Valentina? My man is, you know what he is? He's that dude you went to high school with who was the star jock and he peaked in high school. And after high school,
Yeah.
it was really he went to college and realized how good he was in his little small town or his little city, and compared to, what I'm saying, the type of folks that come in. And ever since then, he's just been like trying to just like in the movie Sinners, get that high again.
Trying to
You
reclaim that
know,
glory. Yeah.
reclaim that glory. My man was watching VHS footage of himself at a USS during this time period, probably the US known as the USSR, Soviet Union, like military type parade. And you see like a younger version of him, and the crowd is cheering, and he wants that. He needs that, and he craves that, and he wants that attention. And yeah, and then what's even more funny is Yelena kind of wants the same thing, because she even told that the Valentina, like, hey, I don't want to do no more. Hey, can I kind of do some stuff where I'm kind of out in the
Trying
open,
to be, yeah, I'm trying to be front facing. You know what I'm
the
saying? Like,
front facing and stuff like that?
and I'm glad you mentioned that because Yelena wants that. Captain Mayo really wants that back
Really wants that. Yeah.
a lot. I mean, and even to a lesser degree, Ghost. You know what I'm saying? Because Ghost was like the perfect mercenary, and
Yeah.
she was tired of basically she's tired of running, so she just wants to wants to live a
Yeah.
life.
She's like, for all intents and purposes, I hate connecting to other shows and movies. She's Arya Stark,
She
she's like a faceless
is,
man, like a
yeah,
girl has
yeah.
no name.
Girl has
Nobody
no
know. Ever
name.
since she was a little girl, she's been phasing in and out, and people been trying, saying whatever happened to Lawrence Fishburne too. What's his name? Bud Foster. Was it Bud Foster
Bill,
or whatever? Bill
yeah,
Foster. Yeah, what I'm saying, Giant Man. Whatever happened to him as well? Because he was her protector and stuff like that. So yeah, man, like all of them want some type of attention and want some type of love or adoration, to say the least.
yep. The only thing they really want is to be seen as who
Hmm.
they are.
Hmm.
Minus Taskmaster because she died so early. But
Okay, let's talk about that real quick, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. Why? What was the point of even have to be like, oh, we got to have an even number about people that people were going, that scene when Valentina was trying to take them all out. We got to have an even number of people to have them be, oh, tying up a loose thread. That's Rashad saying, and it makes sense
oh, stop it!
because,
Let me do that.
and the crowd
That
goes
was
wild.
perfect timing though.
Right? Yeah, and it was just like, why is she here? But it makes sense, Rashad, because that out of the Black Widow movie, that was probably one of the biggest backlashes that came for this movie of the character of Taskmaster.
Yes, and again, that was one of those things too where I wish that movie was in Phase Two and
One,
not
phase two, one. Uh-huh.
yeah, and not in Phase Four because there would have been a backlash, but there was already this like favorable look at the MCU where it wouldn't have been like the overwhelming discussion. It may be in certain
Hmm.
facets and factions of the internet where people don't really get out and they are also involuntary celibates. But the
Hmm.
but overall, like, because like look, the Black Widow movie is a very MCU film, and that would have
Hmm.
fit 1 through 3 anywhere in there. It would have fit so well. Even
Hmm.
how the movie plays out, that movie should have definitely
Hmm.
been like right before Infinity War. But anyway, what was I talking about? Damn. Oh yeah. So Yelena and Taskmaster and Bob and all of them in that room because again, time we got to tie up loose ends in universe with all these people who have
Hmm.
been contracted by Valentina. So we just gonna kill them together
Hmm.
and be done with it. Which again, I think people looked at her character prior to and was like, "Oh, this lady's just be out here just joking and stuff." But she's been ruthless the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
At every point we see her, she's been ruthless or has some sort of excuse me, has some sort of air of wild cardness to her because you don't really know what she's
Oh
about to
yeah.
do. And I'm and
Yeah,
I'm
she definitely always had an ace in her back pocket.
like even her at the end of the movie when she was like, "Oh, I'm just trying to go," she's backing up, and you see where it's like
Mm-hmm.
pulling off, and then boom, these are new Avengers. Like just the my thought when I was like, "Yo, Valentina is the epitome of an opportunist," and
Yes.
every chance she can seize to get an opportunity to gain herself, then she's going to do it. Like that's like that is her storyline, her arc throughout this
Mm-hmm.
entire movie is how can I take
Mm-hmm.
advantage of the people and the resources around me so I can do what I
Mm-hmm.
want to do.
And I could get ahead in life. Yeah.
That's
Because
it. I
it's
mean, she
crazy.
even ratted on her own ex-husband. It was like, you know what? Yeah, you talking to them Connors, yo.
Yeah.
Forget you. Come and get him.
Come and get him. Come and get him. He's a rat or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's just crazy too. Like I said, how you know, she is too. She kind of for me, once again, I'm tired of seeing the different movies and shows. She reminds me of Cersei Lannister somewhat to an extent. As in have these great grand ideas, but somehow they always blow up in her face.
Yeah.
Especially in this, especially in this movie, because she thought she was smart enough. Oh, I'm gonna get all these people together. They're not gonna figure out what's going on. They're gonna kill each other off. Boom. Wrong. They figure out who the hell is this Bob guy? That's what she's. Who is this Bob guy? What is going on? Her
Who?
assistant's like, "Yo, this is the dude from Project Century." And she's like, "No." She's like, "No." He's like, "No, no, 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 no. This is the guy. He's like the only one that really made it through the testing phase or whatever." And she was like, "Huh, really? Well, let's try to make this guy." And she, in her Valentina, is straight up MAGA too, because what did she do in the movie, man? She got Bob, talked that good stuff in his ear. They don't love you. I do. I see the potential in you. And then when they come to try to save Bob, what did they see? Bob in a golden outfit. And what's the ghost says? Did you dye your hair blonde? And he was like, yeah. And then what did she say? She was like, yeah, people like the classic look. That's the that's the make America great again look that they love. We love our blonde hair, blue-eyed saviors or what, what I'm saying, or whatever. So yeah, that's exactly what she is. And because she was about to get impeached and all that good stuff, and she found a way to get out of it. But at the end of the day, even though she did kind of give them what they wanted, Yelena straight up told her, like, hey, we got you there. All we got to do is talk, but we gonna be easy right now until, what I'm saying, until a time comes that fits, what I'm saying, that fits us or whatnot. So that character, what I'm saying, yeah, Valentina Allegra D Fontaine, as she said, not no Fontaine, but D Fontaine made that perfectly clear in this movie. Let's
Shout
talk
out
about your boy
to.
Captain May.
I'm sorry.
Go
Let
ahead.
me get this out before I forget. Shout out to Wendell Pierce. His role was small, but he was funny,
Hmm.
and I'm glad that
Hmm.
they let my man in the MCU, and I'm hoping he can come back in some sort of like senatorial
Hmm.
role. But
Hmm.
this is one of those things where there's such a an excess of talent when it comes to the
Hmm.
MCU that sometimes you get an
Hmm.
actor like, yo, y'all don't understand. Like Wendell Pierce is one of the best
Is that
working actors alive right now. And
yes.
they just use him for jokes. And that's it.
Hmm.
Like
Hmm.
he can easily come back and be like a major aspect of a film and will be walking circles around these actors and actresses. So when it
Hmm.
comes to like underutilized people, that's one of the gripes that I think we both have about the MCU. they'll grab a name or a person, like, yo, like y'all got him, and y'all ain't do nothing with him. So
Yeah.
hopefully Wendell Pierce can come back. But yeah,
You know who was another one they had that with? Gary Shandling,
and what was he? A senator.
a senator that just happened to be
Hell Hydra.
Hydra. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but let's talk about Rashad's favorite character to hate in the MCU. Good old Captain Mayo, Captain MAGA, Captain 10% Captain. They weren't even super powered. This this man wants to be adored in the public eye so bad. This idiot didn't even realize what was going on. It
Yeah.
took Ghost and them was like, yo, man, what are you doing? Like, we all work for Valentina. Well, okay, and your point. She's, what I'm saying, I'm gonna bring y'all in. It's gonna look good on me and type stuff. And he gave the great front like everything is great at home. And what do we see in a flashback, Rashad?
Yeah.
Not
So
only are you a horrible superhero,
you're not
you
a
are a
hero.
horrible
Trash dad too.
father,
Trash dad.
trash dad,
Trash
trash
husband.
husband. Just right. And when Yelena told him that, I said, "Oh, he about to snap or whatever." But he ain't had no choice but to accept it because you see in the flashback, his wife is like, "Hey, watch our son," and the son is in the playpen beside him. Now, I will say this for Sean. I don't have any kids. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You do. You do. You are a father yourself. I think maybe she was a little OD about it. But
I
I
think
get
this
maybe,
is
but maybe she wanted him to play, maybe she wanted him to interact with the child. You know what I'm
there you
saying? Like
go.
that, like,
There you
you
go.
know, with
Yeah.
that. Now if she's like watch him to make sure he says stay safe or whatever, I was like, lady, you kind of ODing a little
Like he's in
bit.
the
Like
playpen, but
you but
I
I
don't
but
think that's
it's a
the
playpen.
point. The point is that
Right, but I think she wanted interaction.
he's not present because
Yeah.
he's
Because he's
so
still sulking about what happened during Falcon Winter Soldier.
yeah, he even I think Ghost said, "Didn't you like kill somebody on TV?"
That's right,
somebody
with the
because
shooter.
they was going on the circle about we all did bad things. He was like, "Hey, I'm squeaky clean. I don't know what y'all talking about." He's like, hold on. You some trash too. We all in this room are trash, other than Bob. Don't know who the hell Bob is, but like,
Yeah.
and I think them all having to work together to get out, to go through the whole little tunnel,
Hmm.
escape, and
Hmm.
Ghost face through. That whole thing was cool. Structurally for this movie, um, a couple things surprised me. The first thing that
Okay.
surprised me was that this movie only takes place over like the course of like a day or so, for real, for real.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like a couple of days, if that, because
Hmm.
the base the main part of the movie is when they get together, and then when they go to New York.
Hmm.
It's not a long time has elapsed, and
Nope.
I was very surprised just how long they took at Oxen's facility on top of that mountain.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
scene is like 35 minutes. It's
Might be
long. It's
40.
like 30. Yeah, it's a long scene. Like
Yeah.
structurally, if they're okay. And I think this is where like writing gets really like it like bumps it up for me because
Okay.
everything that happens in that building is just very compelling to the story. One, we about to kill each other. Two, Taskmaster actually gets killed. Three, Bob pops up. Four, we are now skeptical of this random man. Five, it's a
Yeah.
countdown. We got to get the hell out of here. Six, we need to get out the building, but we got to go through this tunnel. Seven, Bob has an idea to how to do this. Eight, they have to execute the idea together. Nine,
Got to work
the,
together. Mhm.
the forces are actually here to kill us. 10, We all
Hmm.
have to work together to get out of here. 11, we really don't
Hmm.
trust it. We really don't trust each other, but we got to do this thing
Hmm.
as a group. 12, Bob sacrifices himself for the team. 13, we got to get Bob back. Like those beats,
Hmm.
if it wasn't for decent writing, that part could have easily dragged. If they wasn't like,
Right, very
and it
much
was
so.
also like, because it was snappy. There was a lot of chemistry between them.
Hmm.
Um, the Captain Maga being so smug really
Hmm.
works, and I think people who haven't seen Captain Falcon would have forgot or not known. But like
Hmm.
that is his character the entire series. He's so self
Yes.
assured. He's so
Hmm.
self indulged that like yeah, I know what I'm
Hmm.
doing.
I shook the hand of two presidents.
And the fact that he does not ever know what he's doing. My best friend is black.
Mhm.
Like he does not get it.
That's
He
right. His
he
boy was
he
black. They got killed. Yeah.
yeah, he never gets it. And that is the point of that character. So I'm not sure how they're gonna take him forward. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And also, what's another funny thing about Walker?
What's that?
He still has the same raggedy shield.
Sure do.
They did not get that man an upgrade. Valentina can easily get some adamantium. They say nope,
Nope.
raggedy shield
Right.
for you. They actually
He still got.
they actually took that shield and pressed it back down for him. It's like here you go.
They didn't even do that. No, his shit at the end of the movie, that shit was still bent like a taco.
Oh yeah, it was.
It still was. Cause remember, after Bob came, after the big encounter with Bob, Bob lost his memories or whatever, and he was like, "Damn, should have got me straighten this out before you know what I'm saying we got
Yeah,
out of
yeah, yeah,
there."
yeah. You're right.
And
You're right. You're
then
right.
when they were in the and when, then in the post credit scene when they were in the watchtower and they were sitting around talking and stuff, that thing was still folded. I said, what is that blocking? What is that protecting, sir? What are we doing? What is he doing here? Yo,
That's
for
what I'm
real.
saying,
So
man. Like they don't
yeah.
respect him at all. And I like that,
Mm-mm.
they're keeping that through line of like this man really isn't Captain America. Sam Wilson's
Right.
Captain
Hmm.
America. Hence why he's so pissed
Hmm.
when they call them the Avengers. Yeah.
Hmm.
Nah, but nah,
All right.
Captain Walker suck.
Suck hard. So probably you can say who the breakout character of this. Good old Bobby Century or whatever.
Yeah.
What was your thoughts on him as a character? Curious.
Um, I liked how put like this. This character is one of those places where I'm a sucker for when it comes to storytelling, where we are essentially beginning. We're beginning at the end because
Okay.
how he starts the movie is how he finishes the movie. So for all intents and purposes, when he ends up in like the coffin thing, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
He does not remember anything.
Hmm.
And by the end of the movie, he doesn't remember anything. Because the
You're
reason they
right. Because
because the reason they put him in that thing to get incinerated with
uh-huh.
the rest of that stuff, that rest of the evidence after the senatorial the meeting, you know what I'm saying? The reason they do that
Hmm.
because he was too dangerous.
Yeah.
He succeeded with the trials, but he was too dangerous.
Hmm.
And here's the thing too, and I'm glad that somebody brought this up. Matter of fact, it was Valentina's assistant. They was like, "Look, yo, the
Uh-huh.
serum y'all gave of course giving the serum to somebody like Captain America who was the basically the best of us. That's what you get. But like you get this with this random person, you don't really know what you're gonna get with that." And Valentina's like, but he survived, so we gotta look into it.
But think about it though. That goes all the way back to Captain America, the first Avenger.
That's what I'm saying.
I forget the doctor's
Dr.
name that created
Erskine.
the serum. Erskine, right. Erskine says that this serum is supposed to enhance what you are, heighten what you are. If you are a brave person, you become braver, you become bolder. If you are a horrible person, it makes you even more horrible. Look at the Red Skull when he took it and everything. And then and in Bob's case, he's a guy that has suffered from, saying mental abuse, probably some physical abuse as well. He's a meth addict, and he takes the serum.
He may have some sort of dissociative identity disorder or something with
Yes,
that. Even
because
though they haven't said it, like there's some
uh-huh.
sort of mental disorder that's making
Mm-hmm.
him essentially black out, become somebody
Mm-hmm.
else, and
Yeah.
then
He
it
becomes
comes
the
to you
void
later on.
the void.
The void. And
Yeah,
he even says it like
that
there's
is that is his evil.
that's
That is
his
the
alter
evil
ego.
side of
Yeah.
his. Yeah.
So
I was
his
about to be like,
mind gets
did they really
so
make Bob? I said, they really make Bob blackface in this
Tony, I
thing?
said the same thing in the movie theater. And Madison was
Okay, all
like,
right.
shut up, Dad. Shut up. Yeah. so so like having that having to shoot up random test subjects,
Yeah.
it's like we really forgot like the government and these private organizations really forgot the plot. I'm like, y'all gotta remember,
Hmm.
like, if y'all not running some sort of like psyche valves or like
Hmm.
real vetting process of the people, then you're gonna
Hmm.
get it to where somebody who actually takes it because they're looking to get high. They which is
Hmm.
part of the original story. The original story is like he broke into a facility trying to score drugs,
Hmm.
and he ends up taking the
Hmm.
serum and becomes the Sentry. But
Yeah.
like I do like he definitely is a breakout character in a way that
Yeah.
he still has more story to be told because by the end of it,
Definitely. Yeah.
he don't know how to control it. So he's
Yeah.
scared to
Because
even use his power at all.
yeah. So what we saw from him, I say the two main things that happened with him for me, besides him becoming his dark ego devoid and he's sending everybody to the shadow realm or wherever the hell they went,
Yeah.
was was when he was in the realm as Bob, trapped in there because the void was, what I'm saying, in charge. He said, "This is the safest room for me." It really wasn't even safe. He was just in the he was like in the attic bedroom,
Yeah.
and he could hear his father getting ready to abuse his, what I'm saying, give you that DA on his mother,
Hmm.
and you hear him step in as a kid, and he's like, "Oh, you want some of this type stuff? You ain't nothing." And what does he tell Yelena? He was like, "It happens all the time. It'll be over. It'll be over in a minute." He was basically a kid again in that one. So that was one big scene for me but then also came in the post-credit scene where they're talking about, hey, how we gonna get to space? We don't have this or whatever. And he was like, we take Bob, and he up there just eating some chips and drinking soda. And it was like, yeah, Bob, we could use you. And he was like, he basically volunteered, but like, I'm scared. You know what? After they told him what happened, and he has an idea in there, he's like, yeah, it's a chance that darkness could darkness, everybody.
Darkness.
Darkness is right. Darkness is spreading. It actually was spreading. Darkness was spreading. Darkness, my brother Darkness was spreading all
Oh
over New
god.
York. It did. Aha! Rick James was on to something back there. But you see, he was like, I'm afraid that he might pop up, and he could take back, saying, could take back over. So yeah,
Yeah.
so he's kind of just there, right? You know what he is? He is basically the nuclear missile that the glass case over the button, that's the nuke button, you break in case of an emergency. And I think we may see that in case of emergency if one old Galactus himself happens to pop up and send Avengers and everybody and try what they can. Hey, we got to get my man Sentry, because you now think about it, Sentry might be on the same power level as Captain Marvel, as the two strongest beings on Earth.
I'm just saying, like,
Yeah.
maybe he may be like top three in the MCU
Yeah.
period, but
By the way, MCU, stop playing in our face. Bring us the blue. Okay, I'm done.
yeah. Yeah, he definitely top three right now. Oh
Mm-hmm.
man, like the the essence of his storyline, how can I say this? So again, with the parts of the movie, how that first part was like is them trying to do the thing together. And this whole
Mm-hmm.
part, the rest of the movie is essentially Bob turning into Century.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that I'm trying to put this, how can I say this? Even him as okay, we have another MCU film where we really don't have like a real villain. Like
Yeah, we don't. Mm-mm.
like
Mm-mm.
the villain in this movie is somebody's selfish ambition. But
Mm-hmm.
Bob being like a foil to the quote unquote heroes, who are really just a bunch of anti-heroes anyway. Is
Mm-hmm.
like I liked it. I also liked Bob's void his powers because his power is essentially I'm going to take you to whatever you would consider your personal hell, and I'm gonna let that replay over and over and
Mm-hmm.
over and
Mm-hmm.
over again. There's an old movie, I don't remember the name of it, where some guy was like, I think he was a gambler or something, and he ends up going to hell, and he has to basically do the same thing like the entire time. Like that's just his
Oh,
hell.
good God.
So I think he was playing. I think it was like playing pool or something. I forgot. I can't. This is a very old movie,
Mm-hmm.
but that was just like everybody has their own personal hell. Like Valentina has one when she was a kid. Like her hell is her getting her dad murdered.
Mm-hmm.
Yelena is just her red room
Red Rum.
initiation. Good God, you got to kill a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
And everybody has their own singular
Yeah.
one. And
Captain Mayo losing his family.
yeah, Captain Mayo just being just being himself. You know what I'm saying?
So-
Was his personal hell.
uh-huh.
Like that, I really bought into that, and then seeing how you still can fight your way in that little like, could this be considered like its own realm?
Yeah, it
Like,
could be.
so we got like another realm in the MCU because
Yeah.
that's man, like like again, characters are
Realm
very
of pain, realm of mental pain. I don't, yeah, I mean,
this
yeah, I mean,
character is very
you could get,
interesting.
and I just had a thought. I had a thought on how this character, maybe a movie or two down the line, or even down the line, could kind of become, what I'm saying, finally break from his curse of the void. What if one Charles Xavier shows up and is able to put that mental block in to keep that darkness away? Because remember, he did the same thing to Jean Grey in the comic. Because the Phoenix Force kind of, not the Phoenix Force, but that darkness in Jean Grey was always there. But the mental blocks he put up helped her, come along as far as Jean Grey. And then when the Phoenix Force came in contact with her, the Phoenix Force is like, yeah, let's get rid of all this shit right here. So,
Basically,
could
that's
that happen? And that could something like that happen in this one,
that's a very good idea.
Don't know.
If I could just have 10 years of ideas for the X-Men
X
saga. So yeah, Mutant Saga. I can't wait.
Rashad, we gonna be gray hairs talking about
I'm just
old
saying,
gray
man. I
hairs
don't
talking
care,
about
yo. I don't.
you might be a grandfather at some point
Oh my
by this time
God,
and
yo.
everything
Why are we
like
talking about this?
God.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Hey man, you shut up,
Little
Tony.
grandkid, pop, we gonna go see the MCU.
No, not with you. Stay home with your mom. She can't
No,
go either.
with you.
Nah, man, but like that's yeah, Like I hope we gotta get. I mean, shoot, we gotta get him squared away soon because Battle World coming. So yeah.
Yeah,
Doom is coming.
definitely.
But no, that's a real good thought because there has to be a way we can reconcile those two aspects. He can still become the fully formed Sentry that we see in front of the comics, aside from being the Void.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, good thought.
yeah. That's really all I have, man. What about you? Anything else you got, bro?
Um, I'm trying to think. We talked about that. Talking about this. Yeah, just to me, like I'm gonna reiterate this. Very, very poignant of them. The messaging of this movie about being
Hmm.
dealing with dealing with grief and dealing
Hmm.
with like your past and having to reconcile your past in a way to you can actually be productive in the present and moving on into
Hmm.
your future. That's a really good message to just as a just universal message that we can definitely that we should be sharing because we all go through bouts of prolonged sadness at times. Excuse me, and
Hmm.
we have to realize that, like I said before, the friends you made along the way, even if it's not your actual family, but people that you know, people that love you, that you can confide in and listen to, because the whole essence of this movie is, and also to be honest, this is really like the ultimate workplace movie too. Is because you're trying to get along with people that you really don't like to have
Yeah,
them
yeah.
there's a goal in mind, so we got to work together even though we don't have the same interest, we don't believe the
To
same
keep the machine
things,
going.
we don't look the
Hmm.
same way, we don't have the same behaviors, nor we weren't brought up the same way, but we got to do this thing together because it is what it is. And in this case,
Yeah.
it was the fate of Earth was the it is what it is, and they found
You
a
know what
way
that is,
to work
Rashad?
together. What's that?
That's politics in the U.S. Politics in the U.S. Also, too, this would have been a great movie for Vision to just pop out of nowhere, because what if grief is not but love persevering?
Oh man, shout out White Vision. We'll see you next year
This
in
year,
Vision
pretty
Quest.
much.
But nah, man, like
Indeed, indeed.
I think that's everything, man.
Yeah.
This was a really this overall, man. Like I didn't even give
Yeah.
like my thoughts. This was a really strong movie. Like really
Yeah.
strong MCU film. That's like I told Tony earlier, not you, Tony Ba. Got a pop with
Hmm.
him coming. It's gonna be crazy. Talking about Sinners again, because Sinners is still the best movie that came out this year. Um,
Hmm.
the fact that we I told us my train of thought. What's I saying?
Son,
Um,
Tony Boss said about this movie.
oh, I don't even remember. But nah, yo, like I'm
Uh,
so tired. The fact that this oh yeah this I really think that this oh yeah this is oh yeah I remember this is like I said earlier the most MCU movie from the MCU we've
hmm.
seen in quite a while,
Hmm.
and returning to
Yeah.
form of having the layered approach of humanity, heart, and actual heroism, like really combining.
Hmm.
I think a lot of that has been missed out of. Sometimes you get a lot of heroism and like not a lot of heart. You know what I'm saying? Or you get
Yeah.
no humanity in it. And it's like and it doesn't really mesh
Hmm.
well. Cause think about let's say top three MCU film, Winter Soldier.
Hmm.
You get
Hmm.
heroism, you get the
Hmm.
humanity of Captain, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And then you also get the heart. He is the heart of the movie. If it was for him loving his friend, then that movie
Hmm.
doesn't work. Because after the reveal
Hmm.
of when he does the flip, mask comes off and we see Bucky for the first time since, first Avenger, it's like, oh snap,
Hmm.
it's Bucky. And he's like, I can't kill my friend. And even Bucky's
Hmm.
like, who was the guy on the bridge? Who was the guy? Like, I feel like I know him. And Robert
Hmm.
Redford was like, "The hell you do? Go ahead and put this mouthpiece in your mouth and get shocked in the head." So we,
Uh-huh.
we're gonna scramble his brains a little bit. I don't know. He said, "You know him?" Hell, you do know him. Come on now. So again, you gotta have a decent amount of humanity. You gotta have heart. And you gotta have heroism for these movies to actually work. And this one,
Longing, Rusted, 17, Daybreak,
Nine
Furnace,
Divine.
9, The 9, Homecoming, 1, Great Call. You don't remember nothing, nigga.
Yo, yeah. Status report. Was he? I said status report. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man. That's very true. Which I feel like you gotta have those three things for a very competent like MCU film. And Yelena
Definitely the heart.
Definitely did all of those things because she was the hero.
Yeah.
And she definitely showed a lot of humanity in this, and was the one who talked what's called off the ledge.
Century. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all, man. If y'all stay this long, you know who you are. You're the MVP. You should definitely be joining us on all the things.
Yes,
IG, TikTok, YouTube. Keep
Threads.
subbing. Facebook if you're nasty.
Facebook if you're nasty.
theuponfurtherreview.com. Oh. Anyway, join us over on theuponfurtherreview.com, man. We got lots of stuff coming to the site. $10 a month. You got it. Let me get it.
Yes. Once again, also check out our other content that we shut up. Give it to me, man. Also check out some of the other content that we've dropped over the last few weeks. You know, Rashad and the good sister Nadia giving their review of Sinners, then me and Rashad giving my review of Sinners. You know, Rashad and another friend of the show, Tony Ba. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be dropping soon. So whenever you do watch this, if it's already,
you know what I'm saying?
Excuse me, Dr. Ba, you know, you know what I'm saying? If you're watching this new, it's going to be coming out soon. If you're watching this later on, it's out. Go check it out. You know, Sinners, like you said, best show out there. Also check out our stuff on Andor. We've done Andor. Oh, another personal favorite of ours, The Last of Us. We, you know, giving out content on that. So, you know, we here with it. Did they drop the Tales of the I haven't even checked. We will be giving you Tales of the Underground for the Star Wars. You by the way,
tomorrow at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. You know, we are recording this by the way on May 4th. I will be watching it in a few minutes. You
May
know,
the 4th be with y'all.
May the 4th be with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got stuff coming. You know, like I said, the next big thing that we will be talking about is most likely going to be Superman and the Fantastic Four coming out a week apart from each other.
Before you even get to that, we got Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning at the end of the month.
Jesus, that's right. Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning. So as you see, we here doing this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We doing this for y'all. We're also doing it for ourselves as well, because you know, but we doing this for y'all. And like Rashad says, you know, some content is going to be on the website for the low price of $10. $10, you know, for my Norfolk State people. You know, said $10 a month, man. So just, you know what I'm saying, stay tuned in. Look at it, check us out on everything. That's all I got. Rashad, I'm Antonio. Rashad,
till next time.
We are the Upon Further Review, MCU Collective.
Oh man, thanks for the outro.